Albuquerque mayoral candidate Louie Sanchez is here in studio with us. Thank you so much for sitting down with us. So you are currently a city councilor, but for the voters who may not know you, let's start with an introduction.
Thank you, Griffin. My name's Louie Sanchez. I was born and raised in Albuquerque. I've never left. I've always been here in our great city. And I retired from the Albuquerque Police Department after serving 26 years, current city councilor and also a small business owner. I live every single day in Albuquerque, and I see the same experiences that everyone else has on the streets, and sometimes the struggles. But I also see the potential that Albuquerque has. And what I want to do is I want to come in as mayor and bring all of Albuquerque together and make sure that we are doing the right things to protect the city of Albuquerque.
All right, well, let's get right to the big issues. Crime and public safety. What policies would you like to pursue as mayor?
Well, the big thing that we have a big issue with right now is we have an issue with crime and homelessness, and both are tied together. And I think that's the biggest issue that we need to deal with. Currently, the fentanyl use in our city has just gone unchecked. We see people with hoods over their heads to make sure that they get the total result of smoking their fentanyl. I watch 40 to 60 drug deals a day along Central Avenue, and I don't see very many police. So we need to grow our police department as well. And I honestly feel that the police department really needs a strong leader so that they can bring back that spirit of excellence to make sure that the leadership is doing the correct job. And I think at that point, we start attracting a lot more police officers to Albuquerque.
So I'm curious, how would you plan to address the juvenile crime problems that we're seeing here in Albuquerque?
One of the things that we have is we have a huge amount of resources, and I tried to put together a juvenile crime initiative as a city councilor, but the administration said they were already doing it, and it doesn't look like they're doing it. What we need is a massive amount of public service announcements. We need to be working with the schools internally, externally, so that the schools understand the importance of affecting the juvenile crime, especially the guns in the school. I mean, there's so many students that are involved in the school. They're intimate with each other and they know who has the guns and where, but we also need to give them the support they need so they'll be able to come and tell some of the folks in authority so that we can make sure that we keep the school safe and get those guns out of there.
So you touched on it a little bit, but I want to ask, how would you change the city's current approach to homelessness and encampments?
Well, when you have the drug addiction is our main issue. So if we're attacking the drug problem, then we will start to move the dial. The drug problem is tied into homelessness, to the point where you have the cartels or the drug dealers who inflict bodily injury on these individuals because of the threat of them losing their customer. If they don't pay their customer back, or they decide they want to move out of the homeless situation, they get the threat of, no, you're not. You're still busy selling for me. And then you also have the issue of the people that have mental issues that are out there on the streets. And what happens there, they're the easiest people to addict. So they're the most vulnerable out of that group, yet they're the hardest to get out of that group because of the threat of violence that they're faced with every day.
So I'm curious, is there any specific policies you're hoping to bring to the table when it comes to that?
Yeah, we need to make sure that we're enforcing the laws at the lowest levels, the laws that are in the books, and making sure that we're growing our police department.
All right, so what do you want Albuquerque voters to know about your immigrant policies?
Well, I am not for sanctuary city policies. What happened is the mayor, we had an immigrant-friendly city since Hess Itema in 2001 put that in the books under city council, and he's a Republican. So we are not a sanctuary city, nor have we ever been. We've been an immigrant-friendly city, and that's legal immigrants that are here thriving in our community. I own a business on West Central, and it's probably 90% Spanish-speaking, and one of the biggest things that we see being in that business is the amount of our immigrant community who are legal immigrants doing it right, have grown massive businesses in Albuquerque. We have millionaires upon millionaires living in our city, doing it right and putting people to work. And these individuals are the people we need to support, as well as all other businesses that we have in Albuquerque. Albuquerque needs to grow economically, and that's what we need to do. So harboring criminals as a sanctuary city? No. We need to do things the right way.
All right, we have about a minute left, so my last question for you is, where do you think Albuquerque has the most potential for growth or new opportunities?
Albuquerque has so much opportunity. We can actually, we have room for infrastructure and growth. We have room for building more houses for affordable housing. We have opportunities for small businesses. We can turn Central around. Correct. Right now, Central has many boarded up businesses, no left-hand turns, and we need to find ways to get that done. And so I've been the only candidate that understands that $100 million in clawbacks to change art is going to be a very difficult situation for our city. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we have I have communicated with all 5 delegates for our legislature to make sure that when that new FAST bill comes up again, that they help give us some relief so we can improve the art project or do something to make it better so that we have more businesses along Central Avenue.
Perfect. All right, well, that's all the time we have. Thank you again so much for sitting down with us today.
Thank you, Griffin.